You're out of luck, your streak is gonna end. You've been all bark, no bite, it's time to just pretend. The crowd is getting loud, they're chanting for the win. Jeremy's got the spider and it's getting under your skin. Go Jeremy, go! They're cheering your name. The fire in your eyes, driving Deuce insane. He can match your style, he can't play your game. Go Jeremy, go! They're cheering your name. Your hashtags can't help you when the pressure's on the rise. Jeremy's on the rise, he's soaring to the skies. You thought you built an army, but it's falling all apart. His music's got the rhythm that's breaking every heart. Go Jeremy, go! They're cheering your name. The fire in your eyes, driving Deuce insane. He can match your style, he can't play your game. Go Jeremy, go! They're cheering your name. The stage is set for glory, the winner will be crowned. And when the dust is settled, Deuce is nowhere to be found. Jeremy's holding high the trophy of the night. The fans are all united in his blazing light.
Howdy, gentlemen.
Good morning, afternoon, and night.
Wherever you are.
I will be eating my delicious steak and mushrooms as we do this. So
I will be sleeping in the corner while y'all yap.
Bubbles is at it again, chat. He doesn't understand the word no.
I'm guessing he's not going to stop until he literally gets his way and pisses this judge off.
Probably. Hey, Max. Shout out to Max Lab for hooking us up with the documents.
I did not get to watch your stream. I fell asleep. But I was catching bits and pieces of Tug. And I'm assuming that's what they were reading is what you read.
Yeah, probably. I missed Tug.
So just the little bit that I caught, it sounded like the judge actually came down on Randy a little bit.
He came down on both sides, yes.
Why would he come down on Randy?
Because
it's obvious that Bubbles is doing this trying to just bleed Jeremy dry with all these motions.
Well, he's purposely doing shit to trigger Randy, to get Randy riled up. Miss
And
Tammy,
the judge don't see this?
right? Mr. Harry, Kiko, Miss Tammy. Oh wait, I already said Tammy. Sharon, Girl. The darn echo's back.
I've got new headphones, so
Oh, look what I can do. Interesting.
What's that?
So did you know that you can push this little button on Restream to allow your guests to control stuff on screen?
No,
I did not.
Yeah, it says guests can control all presentations.
Where is that located?
When you go to your little settings thingy at the bottom and it goes to general, it has participant names, And then underneath participant names, it says guests can control all presentations.
I don't see it on this end. It must be just on
It's when you're the host.
the main host. I have to look at that.
Joan, Native, hello everybody.
Because basically, it would just, if you're paired with me, it should just give you the same screen as what I have, I would imagine.
I don't think that's what it means by it, it's meaning you can just automatically throw something on screen. I think. I don't know. I just turned it on. We can test it and find out.
Well, we'll see.
Magic. Interesting.
Nothing changed on my end. Everything still stays the same, it looks like.
Stop it. So guys, Bubbles is at it again. Not
Everybody seems to be at it again today.
He must just have a bunch of this crap already pre-typed up, just waiting.
Now, I can say he did mention something to this the other night on stream with the fleas. Redneck, Suzanne. Hi, everybody. Oh, good Lord, Harry.
Lofty goal.
That's a hefty goal. I will be happy just to hit 1K. Okay. I'd be happy just to hit 1K.
You're getting close.
I am.
Share this to a friend.
I'm at 938. No, he doesn't listen. He doesn't understand what no means. No means no. No touchy. No talky. No, no. I believe old before he gets all the best. Right, Miss Karen? Me too. I was just curled up the time watching him play PlayStation. And he was like, get up. We got more motions. I can't just. How about now?
What's that?
Can you? The chat said I was cutting in and out. I had moved the mic back. That might have been the problem.
Sounded like you was arguing with yourself.
Sounded like I was arguing with myself.
Yeah, buddy.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you're fine now. It's just a minute ago it sounded like you were having a conversation with yourself. Which is all right. I mean, I won't hold it against you that you're going freaking batshit crazy.
Well, I moved my mic back like I normally do in the mornings, and I guess it just said no.
Right on, right on. Kind of glad you did this stream tonight.
Why?
Because the one that we did yesterday, I got demonetized because of the copyright music.
Because of music, yeah. All you have to go do is go in and have it remove that song.
Yeah, just appeal it and you'll get your money out of it.
I'm going to appeal it because it's too many little clips. Because, you know, the whole time that video was going, you know, I had edited it. So it had different songs throughout that whole video.
It pinged on that one song. Hi, Daniel.
I was listening
What's
to
up?
Daniel earlier, and I got a phone call. And when I got off it, he was already off of his live. I was pissed.
I was enjoying listening to the Huffs.
Yeah, I had fun with the Huffs too. I was
I
sleeping through Georgie and Daniel.
Mine was a spur of the moment, just like this one's a spur of the moment. So, Bubbles has filed a motion to dismiss under FRCP 12B1. Hasn't he already filed under 12B1 before?
He's filed some emotions. It all gets running through my head.
For
I
lack
have
of subject matter jurisdiction. The defendants moved to dismiss this lawsuit pursuant to FRCP 12B1 on the grounds that federal diversity jurisdiction under 28 USC 1332 clearly does not exist. A memorandum of law in support of motion to dismiss under FRCP 12B1 is filed herewith. So that's just one page.
Hey, sweetness. Since we're all three paired, you're gonna have to put your overlay up there, or the chat won't be able to talk with each other.
Oh crap, I forgot.
See, there's a reason you keep me around. Just now, where you got the avatars on the side, put them on the bottom. That way you can, or put them on the, well, put them somewhere where you don't have them on the side. It'll blow up your screen a little bit for you.
Well, schmucks.
Shnikey.
Nope. How do I?
One all the way
ain't
at the very end. At the very end. Now you have to go into where you turn them into circles.
Yep.
Your customization, and then that'll give you the little 4 points.
Interesting.
See?
Top or bottom? Oh,
Yeah, I'd stick it on the top because it cuts you out now. You're hid behind the overlay. There you go. But then it cuts out some of that.
I can take my overlay off.
Oh, your overlay's fine. Just scroll it up just where you read. Well, there you go. Okay. All right. That'll work.
We can do this.
So yeah, he has done his motion for summary judgment, which was denied. Has he done another motion to dismiss?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe he's filed 2 different motions to dismiss.
I know
I may be wrong.
I'm pretty sure he's already. This is like his 3rd one. I know it's definitely his 2nd one.
This is just like the Disney case in Florida. Disney did this exact same thing. They asked for a summary judgment. They did motions to dismiss. They tried to have the jurisdiction changed to another court. He's done all this. These are the actions of a party that is not doing well in terms of their claims.
Right. Miss Karen said, hold on, where did it go? Bruce, quote, I can't produce anything, so let's just dismiss it and call it a day, unquote.
You know, this is where I'm having a hard time with all of this shit. You got every motion this moron files. He's costing Jeremy money to have to file a motion behind every motion he files. But yet, their side is not having to pay shit. That is not right.
The judge did tell him in the footnote not to file for dismissal till after summary judgment, which he got yesterday. It was denied.
Mm-hmm.
So he turned around and refiled it. And he's saying Jeremy doesn't have evidence upon the depot, Jeremy's depot in Pensacola.
Wow. Says who doesn't have jurisdiction?
He's saying the federal court doesn't have jurisdiction over this.
Yeah, he's trying to get tossed for that. trying to say that state court's most appropriate, but he's going to argue, without even looking at this, he's going to argue that Jeremy lives in Florida.
If you want to help me read along, because it's 14 pages, it's
Sure.
the PDF 68.
Oh, you done counted all those files you loaded into the chat?
I did.
Holy cow.
I had to get Max. He accidentally sent me one twice. But the other 8 documents for this is just Jeremy's depot, which we've already read. So I didn't see the point in pulling that back up and reading it again.
I got it up. I'll be right back, though.
Okay. Max said this is like his 4th motion to dismiss. And there is 8 documents total in this filing, but just these first 2 were the important ones. Because the other documents, I read through them, and it's just pages from Jeremy's depot.
That's what I thought when I clicked on one of them and started reading it. I'm like, this isn't a motion. This is a deposition. So he's put parts of the deposition in as evidence, right?
As his excuse to have it dismissed, yes.
That's funny.
Yes, Miss Sharon, there's 14 pages in the memorandum. But he also filed pages from the depot transcript as the excuse of why he's filing to dismiss.
And here's the thing, I'll just tell you, judges generally don't like when you try to take things away from them and say, no, this is the wrong venue, when you've started on this process.
Yeah. The
judge is already
halfway through it.
The judge has already stated point blank that the case has merit. It's going to court. So,
yeah,
in my opinion, that's Bubbles basically telling the judge, "Hey, you don't have jurisdiction. You buffoon."
You and the
to
word
me,
buffoon.
It's like a slap in the judge's face, trying to tell him he don't know what he's talking about. I hope he keeps pushing so bad that the judge puts his little butt in jail for a night or 2.
Yeah, my baby.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
So it's the memorandum of law in support of motion to dismiss under FRCP 12B1. The defendants moved to dismiss this lawsuit pursuant to FRCP 12B1 on the grounds that federal diversity jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1332 clearly does not exist in the light of A. Dismissal of plaintiff's extortion claims, eliminating any possible recovery of treble damages or attorney fees. B. The now established falsity of the plaintiff's statement alleging online posts by the defendants accusing the plaintiff of being a child predator, which false statement was made in an affidavit, doc number 8-1, para 19, to overcome the defendant's first 12B1 motion and in reliance on which the court denied that motion. C. The plaintiff's admission that the allegation the defendants used their defamatory statements to persuade plaintiff's customers to stop supporting his business does not refer to any additional actions or conduct apart from simply making the alleged statements, and D. The plaintiff's admission that he has not even attempted to contact Whatnot, the only contract he identified, although it arose long after the complaint was filed, to find out if the defendants did anything to interfere with his contract. Are you kidding me, Bubbles?
That's a mistake right there.
In addition to gutting the $75,000 minimum amount and controversy necessary to sustain federal jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1332. These grounds also pertain to the issue of the plaintiff's bad faith in invoking federal jurisdiction in the first place, such that the court should not retain jurisdiction even if it has discretion to do so. A. Dismissal for lack of subject matter. Jurisdiction is warranted at any point. Although the court previously denied a 12B1 motion at the outset of the litigation, doc number 14, concluding that the allegations suffice to meet the federal diversity jurisdictional minimum amount in controversy of $75,000, where it has become clear that the plaintiff cannot meet the jurisdictional minimum, dismissal is warranted for lack of subject matter jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. 1332. Because the federal courts are without power to act in the absence of subject matter jurisdiction, the court must raise the question of subject matter.
You
Can't
sound
hear
far
you.
away again.
What the?
There you go. Now you're better.
Maybe it's my plug.
Could be.
Oh, you ain't holding your tongue right.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Have you tried putting your arms over your head?
Oh, no, you're just being a smart ass.
Did you happen to shave your feet today?
I shaved my legs, yes. That's what took me so long to get in stream this morning. I'm sure the chat didn't need to know that.
Oh, I said feet. I didn't say nothing about legs.
Well, my feet aren't hairy, thank you.
That ain't what we saw.
Those aren't my feet.
Little hobbit feet.
What is y'all's obsession with my feet?
My precious.
Listen, that's Lynette.
She can't walk around with bare feet. She could get a nail in her eye.
Yeah. what he said.
When the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction, it cannot proceed at all, but can only note the jurisdictional defect and dismiss the suit. Still Code v. Citizens for a Better Environment. Cazella v. Winter case number 606. See also Hunters Run Prop Owners Association Incorporated v. Centerline Real Estate LLC. The court lacks subject matter jurisdiction to adjudicate Mr. Reiner's personal liability. The court raises this issue sua sponte. See Arberg v. Y&H Corp. The objection that a federal court lacks subject matter jurisdiction, Federal Civil Procedure 12B1, may be raised by a party or by a court on its own initiative at any stage in the litigation. B. Dismissal of the plaintiff's extortion claim removed treble damages and attorney fees as part of the minimum amount in controversy calculation. The court's decision denying the motion to dismiss was based largely on the potential recovery of treble damages plus attorney fees on the now dismissed extortion claim. What are you giggling about?
Because I'm wondering how he's gonna show that, but
He
we can go
can't.
on.
I think he knows it's going to get dismissed. He's just going to make Randy file again. Row, Shaggy. And on that side note, chat, how is Mikey?
It's been an interesting day for it being
Yes.
a day off for me.
Yes, it has been an interesting day, man. Been a lot of enlightening going on today. Are you beating on your desk?
No, I got to get this boom off of. It's connected to my desk. I got to get it off it, but I have nothing to connect it to right now. So I'll drill something in the wall that it can connect to. just a matter of time.
Well, you weren't. I don't think you. No, it was Georgie. After our stream yesterday, I was showing her some tripods that I built out of PVC
Mm.
for my cameras and stuff. Maybe you could do something like that out of PVC where it's not attached to the desk, but yet you're not drilling into the dang wall. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll look around. The problem is I've got limited space and limited power. So until I can do, like, I want to put in a couple more outlets in this house. And my brother's going to help me. He was an electrician. So
All right, that sounds good.
I'm not handy like Mr. Huff.
Oh, are you back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Frodo?
Daddy, the daddy voice is kind of intimidating.
I thought Mr. Baggins was knocking at the front door.
Who?
Nobody.
I'm so confused.
Frodo Baggins.
Oh,
The Hobbit.
why are y'all bullying me?
We should get you some of those Hobbit feet slippers.
But why? She's pulled her socks off.
Copperwise, yes. Deuce is again asking to have the case thrown out.
Yep.
Again.
Oh,
For the
good.
fourth or fifth or third. I've lost count with Bubbles. So it says, additionally, plaintiff has brought a claim under Florida Civil Remedies for Criminal Practices Act based on defendant's alleged acts of extortion. If plaintiff prevails on that claim, then he may receive treble damages. No kidding, Captain Obvious. Courts should consider the availability of treble damages when deciding if the amount in controversy requirement has been met. Considering the availability of treble damages when deciding if the amount in controversy was satisfied. Barson v. Shar. The court must include any alleged treble damages available under Florida law in calculating the amount in controversy. Plaintiff has also sought attorney's fees under Florida Civil Remedies for Criminal Practices Act. The act provides that a successful plaintiff may receive reasonable attorney's fees. Florida Statute 772.1041. And the 11th Circuit has stated that when a statute authorizes the recovery of attorney's fees, a reasonable amount of those fees is included in the amount in controversy. Morrison v. Allstate. Thus, the court may include a reasonable amount of plaintiff's attorney's fees in deciding whether the amount is in controversy has been here. When the possible actual damages are combined with the possible treble damages and the possible reasonable attorney's fees, the court easily finds it is more likely than not that the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000. And I'm amused by this part because he keeps quoting his own case in his motion. You see this?
The judge has got to be seeing how inadequate this moron is. I mean,
No, her name's Alexis.
we're nowhere near being close to lawyer status, let alone judge status, and we see how incompetent this prick is. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
You want me to take over?
I was reading a comment.
Oh, sure.
Bubbles was bragging last night that the thumbnail case for vexation litigation will not happen, as Starkey will tell the court that this is moving to federal court and ruling now would be wrong.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So now he knows what the judge is going to say, huh?
So he's going to do a counterclaim. That's the only way that moves, is he does a counterclaim.
No, the Larry and Jeremy can counterclaim because this is Lynette's case. The thumbnail case is from Lynette to Jeremy and Larry, and
Yeah, but he's saying it's moving to federal court, which would be a counterclaim to this.
Okay, now you
well,
want to
if
get
you think about
technical.
it could be because Larry's in Kentucky, Jeremy's from Ohio.
Yeah, but that's Larry and all the other people are not in this case.
Not in this one, but he's talking about the thumbnail case.
Yeah, but the thumbnail case, if you want to get technical, right now it is Randy and Jeremy's case because Bubbles dropped it and Randy has filed a motion for sanctions. So now it's in Randy's court.
Yeah, like that's a lot of what ifs that he's banking on right there.
Right.
But to say that it's moving to federal court means that they would have to have that case dropped in state court, and then they have to bring it in federal court. Which, if they don't add, DJ Radis, Larry, then it's a counterclaim to this. Is what they would be stating.
Wow.
Which would definitely mean this is not getting dismissed.
So wait, Bubbles is saying that he's going to bring a federal case against everyone?
Good luck with that, day little boy. I mean,
the way he is failing in just this federal case, and this is the only one he has permission to actually work in right now.
You know, it would absolutely be priceless
Again,
if this little dude actually filed a case and the same judge that's going over Jeremy gets assigned to that one.
Oh my god. Oh.
I hear another Judge Davis comment coming. I better never see you in my court again.
Right?
Kentucky does have anti-slap law. So if he were to file that in federal court, Larry could try to say, no, this is not appropriate for federal court, and I'm going to do an anti-slap lawsuit in Kentucky.
They've got Mama Coop to 400 subs.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Let's keep it going.
She was getting frustrated this afternoon. She was trying to figure out how to take and change her name over there. I'm like, oh, probably be a lot easier getting on the computer.
Yeah. It really is.
I know you can change your name on your channel, so.
Yes. Well, it's not that difficult doing it through an Android, but it's much easier on PC.
Right.
Exactly, Karen. Like, why would he be dumb enough to bring a federal suit against Larry? Larry, of all people.
And here's the thing. This is a clear First Amendment case, a civil rights case. Like, you just have to understand how bad a civil rights case, like, there is so much federal case law on civil rights cases. And he's already proven he doesn't understand the federal rules of procedure.
God, no kidding.
I don't think he's going to like the aftermath of this, whether it be his new social presence or the court judgments. I think it's all going. I mean, it might even put him in the loony bin.
Susan said BBB needs to go back to basics, starting with school.
Like, he's trying every scumbag lawyer move.
He really is.
If Jeremy didn't have the money that Jeremy has, he might be successful. But he picked the wrong person. Jeremy's got means.
Well, and like Jeremy said the other day, it's not a matter of win or lose now. It's a matter of principle. He's going the distance, no matter if it costs him everything he has.
Yeah. Miss Karen said he will see Randy's before this one, right? He reads an order. Hopefully.
Did Randy submit another one today?
No, the one we read this morning.
Okay, so he hasn't. The judge now, the one that Randy sent in that we read today, the judge has just ruled on that this afternoon, right?
No.
No.
What was
No.
the one that the judge ruled on this afternoon?
That was the motion to compel.
Yeah. It was Randy's motion to stop them from stalling on discovery.
Yeah. Judge McDreamy told Bubbles to cough up the evidence for discovery, and he has 14 days to do so.
Okay, well, what was the motion that Randy filed on?
It was the motion to compel because Bubbles was refusing to give up the stuff in discovery.
Okay, well then, what was the judge's decision that you read tonight?
That he has to cough it up, and he has 14 days to do so.
Okay, so the judge has ruled on Randy's motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
But that wasn't the what we talked this morning was Randy's response, and that hasn't been ruled on.
Now I'm lost again.
That was Randy's response to Bubbles' motion.
Yeah.
Oh, so the judge ruled on Bubbles' motion.
No.
No, he ruled on Randy's.
Randy
we did Randy's rebuttal to Bubbles' motion. That's what we did this morning. Then later on today, the judge ruled on Randy's motion for discovery.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so much happening at once. It's really easy to get confused. It's like it's all hitting us at once.
And here's the thing, like Bubbles doing all these motions, like judges, they understand that there's going to be a lot of motions, but if they're unnecessary, they get very fed up with lawyers who just are delaying and wasting the court's time.
Well, up until now, Randy's just been responding, right, to most of it.
Most of it.
Yeah.
He filed the motion to compel because Bubbles was refusing to hand over the items requested in discovery. And now Bubbles has no choice. He has 14 days to choke up phone records, social media records,
Yep.
phone numbers, the
now,
whole
he
nine.
doesn't cough up the evidence or what he's supposed to cough up. What are we looking at then? Sanctions or
Contempt?
Potentially contempt, definitely subpoenas. Because I expect him to come back and say, "Oh, my clients don't have this," and they would have to, as part of his request, is if you don't have it, who is the companies like that you had your cell phone through? So
Right.
if they have to at least answer that, and if they don't, it'll be contempt. But if they say, "Oh, we had phones through Verizon," Randy is gonna subpoena Verizon for those records. Same thing with Facebook.
Yeah, but the only thing Randy could get off of that, well, no, he could get, well, yeah, he could get the Facebook.
Oh yeah, like
He can get the metadata.
He
Yep.
can get all of that. Yeah. The
Like,
only thing he would be
it's
able
all
to get is like pictures and stuff that she saved because they don't actually have the actual phones.
they keep
Text
those too.
messages.
Pretty much what he'll subpoena first is her electronic log, her digital log of her accounts. And that was the other thing, multiple accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say to Facebook, also give us any accounts with matching IP addresses. And
Yeah,
if
because
they
she had her and John both had multiple all.
yeah. Well, John, I for sure know. Her, I'm not sure. But John, we do know had alts.
I know she has one with Harley's name on it that she posts under.
True.
She's got an entire group under Harley's name
Yeah.
Yep.
on Facebook, or did have. I don't know if she still does.
If I remember correctly, we figured out very, very early on that John had an alt that he was posting to that was a totally different name and it was not him. Because what he had done, he was pretty much an idiot. John liked to send very nasty messages to women. And I remember when one had blocked him, like within minutes, another account said essentially the same thing. And we were all like, it was me, Max Lab, DJ Radis. We were all like, oh, yeah. So that's John's alt.
We were just talking about that the other day. You know, you get in these chat rooms and you're reading these people's conversations all the time. You literally get to pick up on a lot of the mannerisms to where if they go anonymous, you can tell a lot of times who that is just by some of the words that they use.
There was an accusation against me today that
Me too.
that I post anonymously on Facebook. I don't, especially with this case. Especially after it got to a certain point, I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely not going to post anything. I'll joke around about it with people, but I'm not going to post anything anonymously because at any point, who knows? Bubbles could pull me in, and I have to answer questions then about, well, do you have any alts? You know, I've got 2 Facebook accounts I maintain daily.
Oh, that's like, you know, living in Missouri for 20 years. Show me, people. Show me that I'm that alt account. Just show me. Y'all are so smart accusing people of that. Show us. Show us your shit.
And I know a lot of people freak out about the IP addresses. You can change your IP address and use a dynamic IP through a VPN, but there's also other ways.
You can hide yourself, but they can still find you eventually.
Oh yeah. There's things that when you're logging in, they know what what am I trying to say? What medium you're using? Are you using a computer? And if you use the same laptop, same tablet, same phone, they can see that. They can see which one it's coming from.
Most definitely.
Oh my god.
What happened now?
Magic is trying to distract me.
I know. I had to turn my notifications off.
I logged out of my Facebook on my PC and I'm still getting the freaking notifications.
On your phone.
Stop it.
Mute the browser.
I closed it. Like I completely logged Facebook out of my computer and it's still dinging.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mute the browsers.
Miss Karen said that Lynette thinks if this is dismissed, then she's going to get Jeremy's money. It's not how it works.
Yeah, not at all how it works.
Even if they file for sanctions, Bubbles would be the one to get the money.
The only 2 cases that she would even remotely see money would be the Trespass 5 and the thumbnail. And she's not going to see anything from those either. Federal case, she's going to have to cough up, though.
I'd have to look at, like, for the image, the thumbnail case, federally, they would need to show where they made money directly off that. Especially, I know for copyright, but we're not talking about copyright. We're talking about likeness, which is a little bit different. So I'd have to look that up. But knowing copyright, you have to show not just that it was infringed, that federally, that you made money off of it.
Emotions in motion. Bruce gets reported to the Connecticut bar.
What's that?
The Fleece thumbnail says that Bruce got reported to the Connecticut bar.
Well, yeah, we knew Megan did. I know at least 2 others.
You would think that there would be some way, since he's fighting this in federal court against Jeremy, and he's doing a lousy job at it. He's being very unethical about it. You would think that there would be an emergency way you could file in Connecticut to get his license taken.
They'll do something about it. They'll look at everything. They'll do an investigation. But a lot of these regulatory agencies are very, very slow.
I mean, how long has he been involved in all this stuff with Jeremy? It's been a good 6-8 months, hasn't it?
I've been dealing with the general that's trying to get me off the base. I've been dealing with that since the end of June.
Yeah, and he was reported in Connecticut and everything way before he came on the scene with all this stuff, and they're still haven't made a ruling.
Copper said, will the Connecticut bar do anything, though? I don't know.
That's all up to them.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. I don't know who else filed, but if Megan filed, I'll guarantee she filed with a ton of proof.
And I do know she filed with an attorney, so that it wasn't like her just making a call.
Right.
It was an attorney who filed. And he has no friends there. I can say that.
I know Squid filed against him too. That lady in Northport, that paralegal in Northport, filed against him too. So that's what, 3 reports?
I think Megan's and the lady in Northport will be the 2 major ones, especially with Megan filing with a lawyer, and then the lady in Northport, that's witness tampering.
And she's a paralegal.
Right.
And I know one other who filed, but they want to be anonymous.
I don't blame them. Look at all the garbage that these people are talking about. Anybody on our side of the fence. So I don't blame anybody for wanting to stay anonymous on that. I mean, yeah, we're on ScrewTube and we're talking trash all the time, but we got thick skin. We can handle it, baby.
I get at least one person a week who wants to talk to me about something that they don't want to talk about publicly.
Oh, and to touch on what you were talking about with the Facebook thing, for the record, I'm still in Facebook jail. I can't post anything, and I'm not even in the group anymore. So stop blaming me for your BS.
That's just ignorance and hatred ruling, trying to create content. I wouldn't even think twice about that fool.
At this point, it's funny because we've moved on to greener pastures.
Yeah, like this motion right here that you stopped reading.
And that's my fault. I don't know, Native. This very possible he did. I would if I was in Randy's shoes.
All right, I'm going to get my drink, y'all. I'll be right back. No.
I have to laugh.
Look at me, I'm over here sneezing.
These shell games, they're just tricks. They're just cheap lawyer tricks, and they don't really work that often. You might be able to get one through, but not as many as he's trying to do.
I mean, at what point do you just give up and let it go to trial? You've been told no like 3 or 4 times now. Like, suck it up, Buttercup. You wanted on this train ride. Suck it up and do your job.
So he thought he was going to be so masterful against Jeremy in the depositions, and be able to get everything that he wanted and then get it dismissed because of something Jeremy said or did?
That's what it looks like.
Body? No. All right.
Good night, Miss Karen. She didn't? I thought she did. See, girl.
Oh yeah, yeah. What you doing, dog? All right. How many pages you got on that
Yes.
total?
The court date is set for August.
Going at this rate, it's not going to start in August.
He's going for quantity, not quality. That's for sure. Given the court's dismissal of these claims, there is no potential for treble damages and attorney fees for extortion, or any damages for extortion. And so these are no longer part of the amount in controversy calculation for purposes of diversity jurisdiction. See Cohen v. Office Depot Incorporated. When the amount in controversy substantially depends on a claim for attorney's fees, that claim should receive heightened scrutiny, explaining that when a punitive damages claim comprises the bulk of the amount in controversy, it may have been colorably asserted solely or primarily for jurisdictional purposes, that claims should be given particularly close scrutiny. As is clear from the court's order dismissing counts 3 and 4 for extortion, Doc 63, these claims were completely baseless from the outset. They were interposed despite there being no statement made by either defendant supporting these claims. They should not continue to be considered for purposes of subject matter jurisdiction. C. The plaintiff falsely averred the defendant's made online post accusing him of being a child predator in order to overcome lack of jurisdiction. Wrong, Bubbles. Prove it. In denying the defendant's 12B1 motion, the court noted the following claims in determining that the $75,000 minimum amount in controversy was established. Plaintiff claims that defendants have engaged in coordinated and extensive campaign to defame, harass, extort, threaten, and injure him in his social media business. More specifically, plaintiff alleges defendant Cook posted a large collection of Smex toys and stated plaintiff was selling them. He did. God and everybody saw that. He did.
Yep.
Defendant Cook posted online, plaintiff, would you like me to post the picture of my in plaintiff's partner's mouth? You can't take this down. He also posted that. I saw it. Not through a screenshot, but with my own eyes in the group he posted it in. Defendant pressed and created and posted throughout the community signs saying things like plaintiff raped my daughter, plaintiff needs to go, no child rapist in Levy County, and stop plaintiff, no rape. Rapist in Levy County. Defendants Cook and Preston have made online posts calling plaintiff a child predator, and those posts are constant and ongoing to this day. They are, and y'all keep saying it on your live streams. You're allowing your PR team to defame him and say things like that. And again, he's quoting his own case here. The citation for plaintiff support for the final bullet point is to the plaintiff's affidavit, Doc 8-1, filed with his opposition to the first 12B1 motion. The complaint itself did not allege any online post calling the plaintiff a child predator, either specifically or generally. Yes, it did. The plaintiff fabricated the allegation out of thin air about online posts calling me a predator. He's saying he fabricated this out of thin air. Oh my God. In order to influence the outcome of the 12B1 motion, and the court's decision demonstrates it was in fact influenced by this false statement in denying the motion. That is not why he denied the motion, but sure, bubbles go off. Defendants have allegedly engaged in a public and coordinated campaign to ruin plaintiff's successful social media business by, among other things, repeatedly, both online and in the real world, falsely accusing him of being a rapist and a child rapist. They have. There are few accusations that could be more harmful to a person than false accusations of actually abusing others, especially children. That is particularly true when the falsely accused person's business and source of income are directly tied to the number of people who view, support, and subscribe to his social media content. It is not difficult to see how being falsely accused of raping children, along with other defamatory statements defendants have allegedly made, could cause plaintiff to suffer damages in excess of $75,000. Again, quoting his own case. Since the court's decision of August 26, 24, the plaintiff has revealed that he has no evidence to support that either of the defendants have made online posts calling him a child predator, either before or after this lawsuit was filed. You have no idea what Jeremy has. During his December 19th, 24 deposition in Pensacola Federal Courthouse, the plaintiff acknowledged having no examples to cite other than supposedly a YouTube live stream he had watched the evening before. Bestie.
Okay, in paragraph 19, you write, Mr. Cook and Miss Preston's online posts calling me a child predator are constant and ongoing to this day, correct? Jeremy, correct. Oh. What online posts calling you a child predator are you referring to the most recently to this day?
Well, there was an entire live stream last night calling me a pedophile for over 5 hours that you were a part of, and so were your clients. So to this day, which went past midnight into this day, which is posted online on YouTube currently, right now, this day.
Are you referring to any Facebook posts?
You asked me online posts. So Facebook, YouTube, all of the social media platforms are online posting. YouTube last night and this morning to this very day.
You identified last night's YouTube stream. Are there more? Most recently before that would be an online post calling you a child predator?
I would have to go back and look. There's so much information for me to go through. If you would have prepped me for this question, I could have been better prepared.
And then you state their behavior is escalating and they're harassing me in Ohio and in Florida. Did I read that correctly? Is there something other or more recent in Ohio?
Well, the aspect of online harassment has no boundaries in regards to states and countries.
See Exhibit A attached here too. Do you want me to go over? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
But the YouTube live stream of December 18th, 2024, that the plaintiff referred to in his deposition on December 19th, contains evidence of statements by the defendants accusing him of being a child predator. He can and should identify it in response to this motion. See Hales v. Alexis Preston. Because defendants have offered evidence outside the pleadings to rebut jurisdictional 7-8 allegations contained therein, plaintiff respond in kind with evidence. Example given, extrinsic evidence such as testimony and affidavits to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that jurisdiction tangibly exists irrespective of the complainant's allegations. Hensley v. West End Hotel, 2023. See also McCormick, explaining that the parties invoking the court's jurisdiction must prove by a preponderance of the evidence facts supporting the existence of federal jurisdiction. Preponderance of the evidence means 51%, folks. Regardless of a live stream that conveniently occurred the evening before his live deposition, the plaintiff's statement in paragraph 19 of his affidavit was false and interposed in bad faith specifically to overcome the 12B1 motion, with no ability to support it at the time it was made and nothing identified to support it since. See Doc 8 Tac 1, paragraph 19. To continue to retain jurisdiction based on a known false statement would encourage such abusive invocation and exploitation of federal jurisdiction. This is especially so far for a litigant such as the plaintiff who publicly admitted in reference to suing the present defendants that he files litigation not to win but to vex and impose financial burden on his opponents. See transcript Exhibit B attached here too. Without online posts, I don't know why he italicized online, the only quote-unquote real world alleged false allegation of the plaintiff being a child molester are the roadside signs allegedly found staked in the grass in the early morning of May 13, 2023. The only evidence the plaintiff has produced is that 3 people found and removed the signs. See doc numbers. The plaintiff admits that none of the 3 believed the statements written on the signs were true. See transcript Exhibit C attached here too. Zim Paget, Stephen Granger, Therese Granger don't believe the statements on the signs. Correct? Answer, correct. Even if it's assumed that, 1, the signs were written and posted by the defendants. Next one, that some cars drove by in the 41 minutes of daylight before the signs were removed. Plaintiff testified he plans to produce a traffic study. That some of those cars' occupants noticed the signs, read them, knew whom they referred to. Some did not even mention the plaintiff's name. That 1 or more of these cars' occupants read the signs, knew whom they referred to, believed the statements. This would not establish a minimum amount in controversy of $75,000. The plaintiff admitted in his deposition he cannot identify a single person who saw, understood, and believed the signs. How are you going... Georgie, you ready?
Yeah.
How are you going to prove that anybody saw the signs while posted in the ground other than those 3 people?
I think number 1, common sense. They're major roads, and there have been many studies done on those major roads in regards to whether Otter Creek needs a light or not. And those studies are all public information. So the aspect that people were driving on roads, common sense tells you it's a road. People drive on it and people saw it. And not only is it just a road, it's very heavy traffic in the road. And so traffic studies.
Traffic studies? So my next question is, can you name anybody by name, an individual? You can certainly say cars drove by, but can you identify any person other than Zim Paget, Therese Granger, or Stephen Granger that saw the signs as they were posted? Yes or no?
If anybody else comes forward, I will name them.
See transcript Exhibit D attached here too. D, the plaintiff admitted the defendants did nothing to use their alleged statements to persuade customers to stop supporting the plaintiff's business. In denying the 12B1 motion, the court noted plaintiff further alleges that defendants have used their defamatory statements to persuade plaintiff's customers to stop supporting his business. Hales v. Preston. In the December 19th deposition, the plaintiff acknowledged that other than the alleged defamatory statements themselves, there were no additional action being alleged that constituted the defendants using the statements to interfere with the plaintiff's customer relationships, just the making of the statements. Question: apart from the statements themselves, what did Preston and Cook do that you're describing as, quote, using their defamatory statements to persuade Hales customers to stop supporting Hales?
Please rephrase your question.
Yes. Other than the actual statement itself that they make, and you reference here, what they are doing to use those statements to persuade people to not support you.
The statement of, quote, Jeremy Hales raped my daughter, unquote, is more than enough to persuade a customer not to support me. Nothing else needs to be said or done.
See transcript Exhibit E attached here too. Thus, using the defamatory statements to persuade customers is nothing more than a contrived phrase devoid of any substantive meaning beyond allegedly making the statements. It provides no basis for consideration as adding to the minimum amount in controversy for purposes of federal diversity jurisdiction. The plaintiff admitted to not having attempted to learn of any interference by the defendants with whatnot, the only contract he identified. The plaintiff identified only one contract he claims the defendants interfered with, whatnot, but admitted in his deposition that he did not contact Whatnot to learn if either of the defendants had done anything to interfere with this contract. See Exhibit F attached here too. Do you have any evidence that John Cook made direct contact with Whatnot of any kind at any time?
I will contact Whatnot and find out who contacted them.
Do you have any evidence that Michelle Preston, Lynette Preston, contacted Whatnot directly at any time?
I have evidence of your client saying, report everything that I do, which we actually looked at in your exhibits earlier this morning.
Do you have evidence that Lynette Michelle Preston directly contacted Whatnot?
I will contact Whatnot and find out if she did.
The plaintiff has thus far refused to produce a copy of the Whatnot contract in response to the defendant's discovery requests. F. Exercising supplemental jurisdiction is not warranted. There was never a basis for federal question jurisdiction, notwithstanding the citation of 28 U.S. Code 1331 in the complainant as a basis for jurisdiction. Therefore, this is not a case where the federal court can exercise supplemental jurisdiction after dismissing federal claims that unquestionably conferred original federal jurisdiction. Rather, this is a case where false allegations, which were not even included in the complaint, were specifically fabricated to include in an affidavit to overcome a motion to dismiss challenging diversity jurisdiction. See document 8-1, paragraph 19. The quote-unquote online posts were vaguely conjured because the alleged real-world accusations. Is he saying that the real world doesn't exist? I don't know.
I don't know.
Made against him by the defendants, roadside signs seen by three people who didn't believe them fall far short of establishing damages of $75,000. If some event subsequent to the complaint reduces the amount in controversy, such as the dismissal of one count based on the defendant's answer, the court must then decide in its discretion whether to retain jurisdiction over the remainder of the case. Shanagan v. Cahill, 1995. In particular, it is important to consider whether the amount claimed in the complaint was made in good faith or whether a plaintiff was consciously relying on flimsy grounds to get into federal court. See Rosado v. Wyman, 1970. Distinguishing initial substantially from subsequent mootness. Another critical equitable factor is the existence of any state limitation bars to refiling in state court. See Ridenauer v. Andrews Federal Credit Union, 1990, Shanagan v. Cahill, 1995. As the information provided in this motion clearly shows, the plaintiff's claim of indeterminate damages exceeding $75,000 was not made in good faith, but was based on flimsy grounds to get into federal court, when there was no reason the claims could not have been pursued in state court without issues of jurisdiction. Given the plaintiff's use of this litigation to generate ongoing, almost daily content for his YouTube videos, it appears possible that federal court was chosen because of the prospect of content generating proceedings over the issue federal jurisdiction, regardless of the outcome, with the worst case scenario for the plaintiff being that he would have to refile his claims in state court to further exploit litigation for content. As there is no bar to the plaintiff refiling his claims in state court, this critical factor also weighs in favor of dismissal for lack of jurisdiction under 28 U.S. Code 1332. Shanagan v. Cahill, 1995, Vines v. Mountainair Farms, Incorporated, 2024. Upholding dismissal of remaining counts following granting of a summary judgment motion that reduced the amount of controversy to below the threshold under 28 U.S. Code 1332, we hold that the record supports the district court's conclusion that any possible damages for lost wages for Vine's 2-day suspension would fall below the $25,000 threshold necessary to invoke the court's diversity injunction under 28 U.S. Code 1332. Thus, we affirm the district court's holding to dismiss this claim with instructions to refile in state court. You want me to keep
what
going?
he said.
Conclusion. Federal jurisdiction was invoked by the plaintiff with no basis for claiming extortion in the first place, and the plaintiff made a false statement in his affidavit intended specifically to influence the outcome of the first 12B1 motion. In light of the contrived basis on which the plaintiff invoked federal jurisdiction, plus the inclusion of a false statement in his affidavit to influence jurisdiction, and because he cannot possibly establish $75,000 in damages, the court should dismiss this case for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Brucey, Brucey, Brucey. I swear, this man.
I think he's just going to piss off the judge.
I agree. Exactly, Suzanne. Her crossing state lines by contacting his mayor in Ohio, harassing his mayor in Ohio, trying to get him run out of town, should be more than enough to hold it in federal jurisdiction, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but that's my opinion.
I think the judge is going to be like, look, I've already told you it's not getting dismissed. Like,
he told him, and not his last one, but the one before it, in a footnote, it's not getting dismissed. Like,
talk about hanging everything on that.
He has no earthly clue how much evidence Jeremy has.
He's going to find out.
He's definitely going to FO. So what? We're now waiting on two more answers from the judge?
Yeah, the motions will stack up, and the judge can rule on them at any time. Like, he could just say, you know what, I'm going to table this, and I'll wait, and we'll go through the discovery process. And if Jeremy has more evidence showing certain things, then I think he could show damages in excess of $75,000 with just the first two counts alone. You got to think that could be that would be what, 27,000 or no, it would be 35,000 for her, 35,000 for him.
Hi, Bruce. He is so set on pissing off the court, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's a goobar.
They cross state lines with their stalking. Yep. That makes it federal. Yeah.
It does. Yes.
Hi, Dwayne.
I wonder if anything from Ohio is going to be admissible in this federal case. Since it's defamation, I don't know if it would be. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, it would be. Because, it's defamation.
And the stalking, I mean, he has a protection order against her.
Right. There is a conviction against her from him. John. So it already goes to show that one court has already ruled in favor of him. Not saying that they're going to rule in favor of him in the federal case, but still, that looks bad for her, having something already ruled on her.
Yes.
Proving that she's done bad shit.
So you have 6 on X watching. I have 43 in my chat. Mike has 30 in his, and Coop, you got 22 in yours.
It was higher earlier, but it's dwindled down.
Yeah, you had like 30 something in there earlier. We have 101 total watching. Y'all make sure y'all are hitting that thumbs up on all 3 channels.
You want some good news?
To help push this out for everybody?
What's that?
George is up to 400 or 940 subscribers.
I see. Once you hit that 1,000, you'll not see those little numbers anymore. Like if you go and look on your screen, you'll have to see your little numbers in your studio. Because like right now, if you look at my page, it says 43.2. It don't show you what's after the 2. Once you get over 1,000, it'll be like 1,100, and then whatever it is after that, you won't see it unless you go into your studio. Like
That's
right now,
right.
we can tell you what your exact number is. Huh?
Dwayne, yeah, the Ohio case really hurt her when she called them. Yep, that that was clear harassment, defamation, all of it.
And it
Stalking.
and it's stalking and harassment, and it's recorded of her telling them that they needed to kick him out of town.
Hmm.
Like,
And all that they have to show is this is what we can prove. What can we not prove? What was she saying to other people? Good morning,
Well,
Joseph.
there's already a court ruling that she has
Yeah.
done bad shit. I mean, this is a pattern with her. I mean,
yes, the Ohio judge stated that their testimony would be used in other court proceedings. Exactly.
but talk
And
about
that's
some big brass balls to actually contact a mayor in another state complaining about your neighbor.
Right?
Hey, that's crazy.
It's 10:30 here, Suzanne. Well, 10:20, but I rounded it up.
And add an hour on there for me,
Yeah, it's 11:20 in
and
Florida.
take 2 hours off of that for Mikey.
8:21.
Suzanne's on the same time zone as him. She's in Cali too.
We need to get all the Cali people, the SoCal people. We got Suzanne, we got Kim, we got me. I'm trying to think who else. There's one I'm missing that I know is in Ontario. We need to do like a Temecula wine tasting meetup.
I'm gonna need you to come to the east.
Now,
Look,
are you guys all saving back some money so when the wall goes up, you guys can get out of there real quick?
question: Can we sell off California to Mexico? Like, is that a plausible thing?
That would be an idea.
Talking about leaving the U.S. and it's like you do realize once you do that, the water spigot gets turned off. Like
Yep.
California uses every other state's water. It could get its
That's
own.
That's what I love about Florida. We ain't got to worry about none of that. We got water everywhere.
San Diego uses water from the Colorado River. San Diego, it's nowhere near the Colorado River.
Yeah, I
And it's
heard
only-
they pipe in all your water.
They should have invested in desalination because they have a whole coastline.
Now, I don't know if it's true or not. I'd heard something years ago about there being a fault line that they were worried about. If you had a big enough earthquake, it would knock off a huge chunk of California. Is that just fabricated? That's not true.
What you would get is the most you'd have is Baja California, the Gulf of Baja, which is that thing that splits Mexico. Is that would just come up into the Salton Sea. It's not going to break off all of California. It's just going to make part of it a peninsula. It's still going to be there.
Oh, okay.
And that's just assuming the water gets that far.
Closest to California I've ever been is Texas.
If that happened, you know how great that would be for the Palm Springs and Coachella Valley area, because then all that ocean water, which is less salty than the Salton Sea, would flood the Salton Sea, and you would have a whole new American coastline that people could build huge freaking houses on.
Wow. What are you over there humming for?
I was plugging my channel in Skipper's chat.
Doesn't bother me. I drove over the San Andreas fault line today.
That's what they called it.
It's on the other side of Joshua Tree. I had to go down to the Palm Springs area today.
I still say get all the people we love out of California and then just let it fall off into the coast.
If you want to, no, if God really want to get rid of people in California, all God has to do is send rain, because they cannot drive when it rains. They tons of accidents because they don't slow down.
Okay, what is the name of that? Oh, have you been over to Slab City? I see a lot of that on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah.
That looks
CJ
like a
Faison
pretty
posted
scary
about that.
place.
I wouldn't go there at night. So it's not far from me. And when I lived down in the Palm Springs area, because I lived down there for 2 years, it was really like half hour. I have gone there. I took my camera. I just spent a whole Saturday just going around taking pictures. There's some nice people there. They're very, everyone there is off the grid living.
Right.
Yeah, there's some drug people there, and you get some drug issues. But there's also some really nice people. There's some snowbirds from Canada, and then there's a big group because Salvation Mountain is also right there, which is another cool thing to check out. So there's a lot of evangelical Christians there. I got invited to people. They're like, "Hey, we're having a barbecue. Come on over." They didn't even know me; just walked up to me and said, "Come have a barbecue with us."
Yeah, I've got one of my van life guys, Paul, that when he had his step van going, a lot of those van people went out there and they would spend a lot of time out there
It's
because it's
big
free.
right now, this time of year, because like today it was 75 degrees. So
Right.
everybody's down there with their dirt bikes. They call it Glamis, and they've all been riding the dunes. And then on the other side over here behind me, closer, it's actually land now owned by the base. This week they're doing the King of the Hammers, which is another off-road racing event.
Wow. But watching Paul's videos when he would be staying out there, I don't know if I could even sleep at night. That would be some scary stuff.
It's incredibly peaceful. And like, I know I've talked to a couple people about coming out here and visiting. Where I am, you walk outside my house, you have a sky full of stars.
Now, I do want to go in some of the American deserts at night because they say that it is so bright with the stars. It is unbelievable.
It is.
Where you get out there far enough that you can't see any city lights anywhere. That's what I
What?
want to see.
I'll get to this question, but my mom, when they were out here, what was that, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we were standing outside, and I was just pointing out how, because you can see satellites, and the other thing is old rocket bodies that are still in orbit that were dropped off the space shuttle. They're visible. You can see them
Wow.
if you know where to look. In fact, I use an app called Night Sky that helps me find them. But we're standing out there looking. My mom was like, "Well, what's that? Those lights over there?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the lights from Las Vegas." And she's like, "That's 3.5 hours away." I'm like, "Yeah, but there's nothing from here to
You should
there."
be.
And the light reflects off the clouds. So yeah, you can see the lights from Las Vegas.
That's another place is Alaska I would like to go just for the nighttime experience with that. What is that? Aurora borealis thing
Yes,
up in the sky? That would be cool.
that came down here when we had that solar storm. Came down here, like you could see parts of it this last summer. I like it was hard to see with the naked eye, but when you took photos, you could really see it. Um, And yes, I've seen the Queen Mary. I have not been on it, but a good friend of mine did do not only the ghost tour, but she stayed in one of the rooms, and she didn't have any experiences herself, but she likes to do that. She goes to all the haunted places.
Oh, that's
I'll take
awesome.
I'll take the tour. I'm not sleeping over.
All
I'm
right.
Catholic. We believe in demons.
I don't think it's demons per se. I do think there is a lot of spiritual presence on the ship. I mean, think about
Come on.
how many deaths have happened on the Queen Mary. Before it was not only as a cruise ship, but when it was part of our military as well.
Yep. All right, boys and girls. I think I'm gonna adios.
We bringing up spirits and ghosts. Coop's like, I'm out. That's some white people shit, he says. Coop's like, that's some white people shit. I'm white, but I ain't that white.
If I can't see it, touch it, and shoot it, it don't exist. All right, my friends. Ooh, what is
Armando
that?
went to Bobby Mackey's.
That same friend of mine, she stayed all night in the Myrtles.
The what?
The Myrtles, it's a plantation, I believe in Louisiana, and it's notoriously supposed to be haunted. And it's a bed and breakfast. She stayed all night in the most haunted room.
Oh wow.
I want to go to that graveyard in New Orleans.
That's crazy. Only thing in graveyards is them damned old crackheads. I don't want no part of that. You go right ahead.
I beg to differ. I've experienced some things on some graveyards at night.
Yeah, I have two down here. It's called getting caught by the law, so I don't go near them.
She also did Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum up in Vegas. I did the Mob Museum. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they got in the middle of Plant City where I grew up. They have the old cemeteries, with the big mausoleums and stuff, or crypts that they put them in, and they really didn't start messing with them till the late '90s, and those kids were going in there knocking over headstones, busting doors, and it was pretty bad because that's a really nice historical site. I mean, some of those stuff went all the way back to the Civil War.
I would like to go to I'm drawing a blank on Sleepy Hollow, where the Legend of Sleepy Hollow is from. Beautiful town. I would love just to go and check it out.
I want to go to Salem.
When I lived in Missouri, I never made it to Joplin.
I did when I went to the UK. We went to Warwick Castle, and we took the haunted dungeon tour. I would have preferred a historical tour myself. And the one thing I really wanted to see, we could not see, which was the oubliette.
See, we need to get a hold of some of your military buddies that actually fly planes and load us up and take us over so we can capture the Loch Ness Monster. That would be flipping cool.
Do you know what an oubliette is?
Uh-uh.
It's a hole, and it's from the French word the forgotten. Pretty much, it's a 24-inch hole that they would just shove people in, and it would be like 13 foot deep, and they would just forget about you. Maybe they would throw down scraps to feed you, but yeah, they threw you down there, and you are not going to be let out, and you are standing on the bones of the people who were there before you.
See, you're a lot closer to Mexico than I am. So have you seen any of those chupacabras coming up over the border?
No.
You ever seen one?
Lots of coyotes. No, never.
I want a coyote puppy.
Yeah.
Now, I did have a roommate at my old house who was sensitive. And, when I moved in there, I got some holy water, bless the house. I do that any place I move. And she came to me. She was like, there's all these spirits standing outside the backyard who won't come in. And they're angry. Why? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, they're stuck. And as we talked about it, she was like, yeah, they're angry about the way they died. And the outside of the backyard was actually property belonging to Joshua Tree Park. And I said, well, we have 7 or 8 people that die in the park every single year because they don't listen. They come in from LA. They don't bring water to the desert. They go hiking and then leave the trail thinking, oh, I can see everything out here, not realizing, yeah, you can see everything, but what you think is, just a couple hundred yards down the road is actually a mile down the road, and you end up way off the path.
I was just fixing to answer him there, Georgie. I lived in Lake of the Ozarks for 20 years. I worked in Eldon, Lake of the Ozarks, Osage Beach, and Camdenton. Those four towns were just all within a 20-mile circle of each other.
My best friend has a doctorate in biology, and I keep trying to talk him into us going on a Bigfoot hunt.
Why does the Lizzie Borden sound familiar?
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 20 whacks.
She unalived her whole family.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I got you now.
I've never heard of the Jenny Wade house, but I would love to go to the Lizzie Borden house. And the White Witch of Rose Hall.
Well, what about the Bates Motel?
That's
I've
not
been to
a
it.
real TV show.
How
I've
do you
been to it. It's
know?
on Universal Studios.
Yeah, so Universal Studios.
Yeah, the house and the motel. We haven't been there in a while, though. We want to go back.
I don't think they've been around for a lot of years now, but the old traveling circuses, like when we were younger, Mike, you remember them old circuses?
There's still some around.
Is there? That would be, some of those guys got some interesting stuff from way back when.
I did a story the other day about a tiger at one of the circuses grabbed its trainer, and they had to, in the horror of all the audience, had to beat it to get it off the dude.
Man, that's something else. Yeah, the only circus I've been to is we used to get Ringling Brothers would come through about once or twice a year, and they would set up in the Lakeland Civic Center. And my grandparents took us when we were like real small.
Give
But
me
no
your toe
smoking.
beans.
Huh? What?
Chaos Kitten's laying on top of my computer, and I'm trying to rub his toe beans, and he won't give me his paws. Give me the toe beans. Give me the toe beans. Let me love you.
The lake was really nice, Josh. I mean,
Joseph.
I I liked it, but I figured if during the summertime I'm gonna be that damn hot, I might as well go back to Florida. Uh, I have family. All my dad's side of the family are all from a little town called Brumley. It's just right outside of Osage Beach area. That's one of those towns that we were kind of talking about different races did not live in that town the other day, Mike.
Hmm.
Brumley was one of them, and their saying was is don't let the sun shut on your ass. And talk about racist. Them people was racist.
I've heard that about parts of Missouri and Arkansas that were really racist. I've never been.
See, they don't have mountains in Missouri. They have hills. So them are hillbillies. I mean, these guys live way back in these rural areas. And man, if you ain't kin to somebody, you better not be out after dark and get caught. They're pretty protective in some of the little tiny baby small towns. All right. We about ready there, young lady?
Yep. I have it set up to redirect to Shizzy.
Yeah, I set mine up over there too. I was hoping the expert was still on, but he's not. I didn't see him in the list. So
All right, chat. Coop and I will see y'all in the morning. Make sure you are subscribed to Skipper, Coop, and I. With that being said, you are one of a kind, and never let anyone dim your light. Bye, guys.
Adios.
Georgie's gotta go for now. She's got a role to play. Kids are calling, life's a sprawling, never a dull day. She loves all her subscribers, each and every one. But mom, life's calling louder till the setting sun. Goodbye for now, dear friends, till we meet again. Georgie's heart is full of love for every message sent. You're one of a kind, don't let them dim your light. She'll be back real soon, till then, good night. In the quiet of the evening, when the kids are fast asleep, Georgie reads your messages, a treasure she'll keep. Though she's busy now, her mind's on you all, wondering about your days and nights as the raindrops fall. Goodbye for now, dear friends, till we meet again. Georgie's heart is full of love for every message sent. You're one of a kind, don't let them dim your light. She'll be back real soon, till then, good night. Mom's life is a journey full of ups and downs, but in every single moment, love's the sweetest sound. She'll be back to share her stories, her laughter and her tears. But for now, she blows a kiss to you near and dear. Georgie sees the beauty in every simple thing, from the morning light to the quiet night, and all the joy it brings. So hold on to your passions and let your spirit soar. She's grateful for your love and can't wait to share more. Georgie sees the beauty in every simple thing, from the morning light to the quiet night, and all the joy it brings. So hold on to your passions and let your spirit soar. She's grateful for your love and can't wait to share more.